Okay, potassium iodide. It's used for radiation. If there's any kind of radiation leak or something like that, it just comes in a little pill. You take the pill. Right now, I think it runs maybe $8 or $10 for a bottle. One pill each day. And it fills the thyroid with iodine. And radiation poison goes to the thyroid. It screws up your thyroid, and it's a long, slow, painful death. So that's why you need potassium iodide. The government doesn't tell you about this. And the reason is, when they feel the need for you to have it, then they will have you come in and stand in line and then show your ID, rat on the people, or do whatever kind of information they want from you before they're going to give this to you. So this way you can get it now. Get it now, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, another thing is super glue. I made videos on that also. And what it is, you get a cut, you let it bleed for a few minutes, and the thing is, when you get a cut, the germs go in when you cut it. Okay, if you let it bleed, those germs are flushed out. If you cut and then you grab it like that, you held those germs inside, and now there's a good chance you're going to have medical problems. So let's let it bleed, and then, like I say, you run it under cold water, and then you put something clean on it and put the pressure on there, and it'll dry it. You have the pressure, and that cold water will make the blood vessels close up, so the bleeding will slow down. You put the pressure, the bleeding stops, and then you put super glue on, and let the super glue dry, and it'll be there for 24 hours, and then it'll fall off. By then, it'll probably be held. Your cut will be closed up by then. They use it for surgeries and stuff like that. Not super glue, but, well, it probably is super glue, but costs more for them. but super glue will work. Okay. Another thing is Silverlone. Silverlone is a material. I got some. I'm too lazy to go get it. But I carry it with me, and it's always in my backpack. Like I say, I got my small grab bag, I got a backpack, I've got a big bag that I carry like a suitcase would be. Matter of fact, I got two of those, one for cold weather and one for the normal weather that I'm in. And so the first thing I grab is my little bag, and it's the one with stuff that I need to survive anything, any place. And the next thing that I grab is my backpack, and that is where my Silverlone is. And I use it for all kinds of stuff, headaches, chest pain. I stubbed my toe 2 nights ago, wrapped around my toe, and now I can handle it. I thought I broke it. It's pretty bad looking, but like I say, through the night, you do what you have to through the night. You wrap whatever it is through the night, and the next day you'll find a lot of improvement. I use it. I got in a motorcycle wreck maybe 6-8 years back, and same thing. I had broken rib, broken back, broken arm, and I wrapped myself with that Silverlone. It speeds up healing, takes away pain. But I say, so Silverlone is a very, very important item that you need. Okay. Motion detector. Battery-powered motion detector. You use those so you can sleep at night. I have 2 of them, one on the stairways, so trying to get into my place, and another one at the front door, so before you even come to my front door, I know. So if you can get into the place, I know you got in. Then I know when you got to the front door. So you're pretty much screwed when you're trying to come get me. You use motion detectors in places that you can't put the manpower up to watch, and it'd be the same thing. You really need them so you can get a good night's sleep. So battery-powered motion detectors with batteries. Fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers is very good. When you use fire extinguisher, you know, you pull the handle and whoosh, just it just, nobody can see anything. It's hard to use violence when people can't see things. So in other words, if 3 or 4 people come at me, I can swish them with the fire extinguisher, and now whatever they were thinking changes, and I've got the advantage now. So fire extinguisher is very good, and then you can use it for a club, start beating them with it. So in other words, and it's something a child can use, anybody can use, elderly, anybody can use these things. So anytime you're in a threatening situation, if your threat can't see, you have a much better odds for surviving. So that's why the fire extinguisher comes in. You can have it in the car, you can have it everywhere, and people don't realize it's being used as a weapon. So so have fire extinguishers. Yeah, I think, I don't know, you have to do your research on it. When you're spraying people with it, in their eyes and stuff, it may be a little dangerous. Hey, that's even better. But sorry I said that. But anyway, do your homework on all this stuff. Do your research. Okay, communications devices. Okay, right now, well, I know a good 3-man militia would be in shortwave. You're sharing the expenses. I believe all the expenses would be less than $1,000 for shortwave. So then you 3 can share the expenses, or however you want to work it out. But shortwave is a very good thing. They'll always need shortwave no matter what. And it works anywhere in the world. Okay. I've been looking, well, I'm in the process now, I'm researching handheld, like walkie-talkie type stuff. And so I want to use those for communications, because you will need some kind of communication device. No matter what, you will need it. So figure out how you're going to do it, what kind of stuff you're going to use, what kind of radios you're going to use, or other kind of communication device. I don't care, you know, the can with the string, whatever you want to do. But make sure you get some kind of communication stuff. Rope. Rope is a very good thing. And like I say, it doesn't cost that much. It's one of these things you can buy it and then coil it, roll it up, and leave it. And when you need a rope, there's very few other things that are going to work. So a rope you need. When I was riding a motorcycle, I carried a rope on the motorcycle. I use the rope a lot. And I don't know of anything you can use. I guess you can use a chain. Will take a place of rope in some cases. But then you got the weight and the expense. So consider rope. Another thing is smoke bombs. Just like the fire extinguisher. I use smoke bombs a lot. Matter of fact, Marines are known in Vietnam to use fire a lot. We like the smoke and we like the fire. So I say same thing. With smoke bomb, you have a smoke bomb, nobody can see anything. Your threat is much less of a threat if they can't see anything. So smoke bombs is very good. I even have some military grade that you can use. Well, they have them for hiding tanks. A lot of night vision type stuff like that won't go through this type of smoke. So that's what I'm saying. There's stuff out there. Do your research. Okay. Fish hooks. Fish hooks and line. If you have fish hooks and some line, you'll probably never go hungry. Not only you can use the fish hooks for, catching fish, but the fish hook and lines will work good for making snares and this type of stuff. You don't know how to do that. Sounds like a 3-man militia to me. Get a 3-man militia, learn how to make snares, go out and catch some stuff. Try it out. Okay, next thing, slingshot. Slingshot, you need get a 3-man militia and slingshots. I mean, yeah, just do it for a month or so. Just get some slingshots and start playing with them. Personally, I like marbles. They're nice and big and heavy. So in other words, anything that I hit will know it got hit. The bad thing is they're kind of big. They don't fly real fast. So you might want the little, not marbles, but the little steel balls. I don't know. Do your research. Learn about it. Another thing that'll fall in that bracket is bow and arrows. Even though you can modify a slingshot to shoot arrows, a bow is even better. You can get more strength out of it. And bow and arrow can come in handy. Okay, next is playing cards. Playing cards are very useful. You don't want to have time on your hands. All the time you want to stay busy, you want to be doing things. And you don't, being on your cell phone doing this is not healthy stuff. Even playing cards is healthier than something like that. If you're by yourself, you can play stuff. If you're with somebody else, it will do more of a social bonding. It gives you something to do. It keeps the boredom out. Okay, rat traps. Rat traps can be used for a lot of things. And they were talking about snares earlier. Okay, you can use them to catch food. Also, you can use them as booby traps, to spring booby traps. You can use them as like a motion detector, early warning signals. You can set them up for doing all kinds of weird stuff. They're cheap, weather won't bother them, and they work good. Rat traps. Okay, with the rat traps, it'd be nice if you had some wire and paracord. Paracord's got, I think, 7 strands of string in it. So you've got paracord, you can use it as a small rope, or you can rip it apart and use the string in it for whatever you want to use it for. Like I say, we're right back to snares, and with the rat trap, you can use your imagination. Compass and maps. I know nowadays people don't think they need all that stuff, and seldom you ever use it. Hey, sounds like a 3-man militia. I tell you, most people stay in their own surroundings, so you don't worry so much. But if you're forced to leave your surroundings, you will need a compass and maps. Because if it's overcast, or heaven forbid you ever have to do any movement at night, but you're going to need to know where you're going, so you need a compass. And so a compass and map is something definitely you're going to need. And even when you're going, even if you know the area, you're going from maybe one community to the next community, if the roads you normally take aren't available, you're going to need a map to be able to get you around. So think on it real hard. Flares. I love flares. I love the ones you pop them like that and it shoots off, and the ones you strike them like a big match. You strike them and it fires up. I like them. They're real good on starting fires. Remember I talked about the Marines in Vietnam. Love fires. When things get ugly and I need a good fire, I want a good fire as fast as possible. And the flares and some gasoline, you can do a lot of fire making. Let's see, gas masks. Now gas masks don't work for smoke, but when I don't remember if I made a video on this or not, but I lived in a town that had a fertilizer plant. And one night I was going home, it was nice and still, I was in a Jeep, and I went down a low spot, and I couldn't hardly breathe. I mean, something just kind of took the air out of me, and the Jeep started running funny, and I was able to get back up, and when I got back up again, then everything cleared out. The gases were heavy gases, and it was down in like a creek area, and it was a leak from a train car. And now, yes, the fertilizer plant's got all these deadly gases, but those deadly gases came from somewhere, and they came through your community. So a gas mask would come in handy. I have one, or now, well, not now, but I used to. I had one in every vehicle I had. And the reason, one, is I can't give it to everybody in the car. The idea is that at least maybe the driver can get us out of this situation. So gas mask. And you're going to need gas mask in other situations also. I've talked about it on the 3-man militia stuff. So these are things that you should be able to use. There's a whole lot of other things you can use. And like I say, you can come to my website and my ready list, and it'll give you all kinds of stuff. And you start picking this stuff up. But the main thing, start putting it all together. I use, now I've been using golf club bags to hold my stuff. It's easier to transport them. If I have to move them, not only move them and load them in the car and go somewhere else like that, but if I have to move them cross country, it's all bagged up and ready to go. So think on what it is that you can do to start getting ready. And I've given you the information. Okay, this is Mike. NoStressMike.com.